Hello my friends, this is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's zoom into the front lines. Unfortunately for today we don't have the best news for the Ukrainian army. Russia claimed that they've took Marinka village under their full control. But actually if you look at this military map, it's not like that. Sorry for the watermark, I cannot remove it because I've took it from the Russian channel. You can see that they put the flag on one of the buildings claiming that they've took everything, all of the Marinka under control, but at the same time they point towards the other place which is probably under Ukrainian control. Indeed, the building they show is at the end of the Marinka, but Ukraine is still controlling this part of the village. If you're actually able to call this place a village, because everything was demolished over there, not a single building survived. Russia brings just devastation with their Russian peace. The deep state military map source shows this map and saying that this is the gray area, but actually I think that Russia finally propelled towards this place. From my information, Ukraine is controlling this street for sure, and I have big question about this one. But the fact is that Russia for this hour is unable to establish the full control over Marinka, because Ukraine still has the forces over there, so the battle continues. Yes, after all, I think that Russia will establish the full control over Marinka, but the main point over here is not to believe their propaganda. They're a little bit in a hurry. The similar data we have from the other source, yes, Russia put their flag over here, but a couple of the streets this evening for sure were under Ukrainian control. Well, this one, as I say to you, 100% is still now under Ukrainian control. And let's go to the 3D map. So this is Marinka. As you can see, mostly the flat terrain. However, there is the river goes across the city, creating this sort of the valley, but it's not that significant, I may say so. Mainly it's the flat ground over here. So Russia has no advantages in moving just straight forward through the river. There are some artificial hills over here, so Russia may use them to spot the activity in the village of Marinka. That's all about terrain in this place. The fight for Marinka was ongoing since the beginning of the full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine. And it seems like Russia is able to get the ground under their control, but there is no any village after all. As I say to you, it was completely demolished. For example, this is the drone image of the Marinka. You can see complete ruins. I think that it is cheaper to build the similar village elsewhere rather than to get rid of those ruins and later on build the village at the same place. Luckily, the majority of civilians were able to evacuate at the proper time from this place, because they used to live very close to the self-proclaimed Republic territory, so they were ready for those events. So speaking about the Russian advancement, the advancement of the second army in the world just in Marinka, you see the front line change. This change happened not just for 1 week or 1 month, this happened for 1 year. One image was taken on the 1st December 2022, and this is the 1st December of 2023. So for 1 year, Russia was able to almost capture the Marinka village. What can I say? A great result for the Russian army, which wanted to get Kiev under control as well as Odessa, Kharkiv and many Ukrainian cities. Nevertheless, obviously those are the bad news for Ukraine, but our guys continue to fight, and I'm sure that we're gonna return Marinka back, or what is left from that village. Let's go to Avdiivka. Russia continued their advancement towards Stepova. So today they advanced over here across the railroad, sadly, but Ukraine wasn't able to stop the Russian attacks. There was the moment then Ukraine thrown the Russians out from their positions, but Russia sent more reinforcements and now pushing Ukrainian army from Stepova. Actually, they entered this village. You may see the gray area covers the half of the place. The other source also shows the advancement of the Russian army. Two of the vectors of their attack towards Stepova and north from Stepova. At the same time, President Zelensky announced the reinforcement of the defense lines in Avdiivka, but I think that it should have been made long time ago. Hopefully, Ukraine will be able to withstand against the Russian attacks, especially it is critical in this place, the industrial part of Avdiivka. For the rest of the areas, there are no significant movement, and I expect Russia to intensify their attacks on Avdiivka because Putin will proclaim that he will go on elections the next year. I believe that it will happen on 14th of December. Then there will be the big meeting with journalists and the public address to people of President of Russia, so-called president, because Russia doesn't have the fair elections. He needs Avdiivka to show the success that he is the mighty leader of Mother Russia. That is why they will continue to waste lots of the forces here. If we check out the losses for both of the sides for the last week, Russia lost 111 vehicles, Ukraine 34. Mostly Russia is losing their tanks and armored vehicles. Let's go to Bakhmut, where Russia still keeps the initiative advancing on the northern part from Yahine. So it was yesterday and it is today a little advancement towards Bogdanovka village over here from the Russian side. Why is it happening like that? Because Russia was able to accumulate lots of the resources. As the ex-Russian president Dmitry Medvedev said today, Russia hired more than 400,000 new people in their army just this year. It's more than Russia mobilized in 2022. That figure was around 300,000. So how did they do it without announcing the new mobilization? Basically, they increased the salary for the volunteers. The first payment, as I already told you, around $7,000. It's the crazy money for the Russian people. Well, not in Moscow and St. Petersburg, but in other Russia. What is also quite concerning that Russia is able to achieve the small goals in many parts of the front lines. For example, over here in Liman direction, Russia moved towards Terny quite a lot. So it was yesterday and it is today. We have the front line map clarification. Maybe this movement was conducted not just now, but for the several days, and we have this information just today. If we look at the 3D map, so here is the Russian advancement. I want to check out the area from the geographic perspective, from the terrain, let's say. Let's go to the place. Well, there are some of the canyons, I may call them. Probably there used to be the rivers before, and all of that goes into that lake over here. In general, Russia is on a high ground compared to the nearby villages, for example, Terny, so it's easier for them to advance towards this lake. But I don't see any spot for them to hide. The Terny is still far away from the front lines. Yesterday I've told you about the great disaster for the Russian army communication line between Russia and China. Basically, the only railway connection was kaboomed. The train inside the tunnel caught fire and exploded with loss of the petrol and the jet fuel. But there is still the backup way to the China, also using the railway transport, but it is not even close to the tunnel's capacity. It takes days to go to China with some of the cargo. And you know what? That way was also kaboomed by someone, so connection with China totally lost. Why is it important for us? Actually, it's the deal breaker in this war, because China continued to support Russia with technologies, with chips, and with military. It was confirmed that China sends the military equipment to the Russian Federation. Let me show you. Remember, we were speaking about the Chinese all-terrain vehicles. Russia ordered almost 2,000 of those. Well, the vehicle could be equipped with analog of the Switchblade drone. And it looks like China already supplied those systems to the Russian Federation. They did not say about it openly, but we have the information about it. And it is just the top of the iceberg. China really supports the Russian military with the proper tools, with repair facilities, and many more. About the Ukrainian landing operation in Krinky, we have the video from one of our soldiers. It was filmed on his helmet GoPro. I will publish this one on my Telegram channel. Unfortunately, I'm unable to show it to you on this platform, sorry, but you may find my Telegram channel just in the video description below, or you may scan the QR code on the screen. There I post many of this kind of the stuff and everything that I'm unable to publish on YouTube. So to stay more connected, join my Telegram. As I showed you in one of my videos, Ukraine tries to expand the bridgehead and the local forest is the place to go. Russia got some of the trenches over there, but our guys are very successful in this place. Russian military bloggers are very concerned about the Ukrainian advancement in Marinka. I believe that soon we're gonna see some interesting events on this part of the front lines. The Ukrainian air defense Gepard crew shot down the Garan drone. Actually, it's the Shahed drone, but produced in Russia. So this is the gray drone actually, but Russians seems to spray the paint on top of it. That's it. The black drones are harder to spot in the night sky. Anyways, Gepard is equipped with very sensitive radar, able to spot everything flying. Again, there are some videos published how Ukraine repelled the Russian attacks. I wonder when those were filmed. Because yes, it was snowy in Ukraine, but at some points snow melted. And definitely it's hard to say, nevertheless Russia continued to send the mid waves, and parts of those videos I'm unable to show you because Russia sent mostly infantry. We even have the video with destruction of the Jurassic T-55 tank. It's crazy that Russia is using this as the tank. Usually it should just support infantry, not more than that. So 2 of the shells were delivered on the FPV drones, and the T-55 wasn't really ready for that. A very thin armor, not really a powerful gun, so I don't think that this tank has any sort of advantages in a modern day war. The same stuff happened to the Russian BMP-3. It was targeted by the FPV drone and later on was smoking on a way back. I think something happened to the engine, but this thing is actually more reliable compared to T-55. It has a nice armor. As for the BMP, maybe the smoke generator is working over here. Oh no, there was actually the fire in the aft engine compartment. You can see it on the video. So it was damaged, but it runs. It definitely requires one more FPV drone. Switzerland continued to freeze the dirty Russian money in the country bank accounts. However, there is still no legal way to withdraw those funds and send them, for example, to Ukraine to support our country for our military, etc. Moreover, many more countries like Germany, Italy, France are against withdrawal of the Russian money. They say that it goes against the bank rules or something like that. However, the United States of America approved that act, and part of the Russian money, which were frozen on the United States accounts, were sent for Ukrainian support. I think it's the proper way to support Ukraine, to use the Russian finances. I think that countries may easily find $500 billion to support Ukraine from the Russian official and from the Russian oligarchs' accounts. In case of Switzerland, some of the banks say that Russians should pay the taxes in Switzerland, and after that they will unfreeze the money for them, because if they pay the taxes in Russia, it means that they support the war of Russia against Ukraine. That's why Switzerland blocked those accounts. For now, we speak about almost $9 billion. I think those were the main news for today. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video. By doing so, you help me a lot. Also, if you want to support my job, you may check out some of the links in the video description just below. Special thanks for my Patreon supporters and the sponsors of my YouTube channel. Guys, you're awesome. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.